Fulbright.
Elliot, you old warhorse, how are you?
Fine. How was it?
Oh, not bad. Change of plea bound over for sentence. Just as well, really. He was as guilty as hell.
Ben, do you know Howard Simmons? He's briefing me.
No.
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do?
I'll go and see Harding and tell him we've got another witness scheduled.
Good.
So, we're taking the Hartley case.
Yes.
How's it look?
Oh, we have a few surprises.
You crafty old buzzard. What about after this? How are you fixed?
Don't tell me you're offering me a case.
Oh, well, normally I wouldn't presume, but...
But you've got your hands full, that PMS appeal, and this one is less glamorous, right?
Actually, it was the Graham case I was offering.
You're not serious.
Yes, well, personal reasons. I can't think of anyone better than you to take over.
Look, don't think I'm not grateful, old man, but to be frank, I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole.
Elliot, this case will create legal history. All the work I've put in, the publicity.
Exactly. It's your case, Ben. The public know your name better than the Graham girls. What sort of reaction do you think it'll be when the press announces that you've washed your hands of it?
But it's not like that. And with you to take over, well...
Ben, if you walk away, it will seem as if you've lost faith in the cause. I'm sorry, old man, but no one wants to defend a lost cause. Especially me.
And to be honest, I don't even know what she's doing here. She's an incorrigible little bitch. I'm sorry, but that's true. And you can't afford to turn your back on her for one moment.
You don't think she'll benefit from this scheme at all?
Frankly, we think she'll do her best to stuff it up. I'm sorry if we sound cynical, but David and I have had Miss Lennox up to here.
But the way you handled her in reception, I mean...
Believe me, the last thing you do is let her see she's getting to you.
We've tried every way we know how to get through to Nikki. Sometimes you've just got to accept that there are some kids you can't help.
Then what's she doing here?
Well, our guess is it's the acid test. If by some miracle you get through to her, well, then the scheme will work on anyone.
Oh, well, being forewarned is forearmed, I suppose. Thanks for telling us. What about the others?
Little Lisa's already scared out of her wits. She's not a bad kid, but both her parents work late hours and she's easily led.
Jo will take some watching. She's a cop-out merchant with a chip on her shoulder. She used to be a drunk. Now she's just a thug.
What about the other one, Moran?
Poor Cindy. Well, she hasn't got a lot going for her and she's desperately lonely.
If you break through the wall, well, maybe.
Like a challenge, isn't it?
Well, you've got 3 good chances of breaking through, Mrs. Reynolds. But as for Nikki, forget it. She's a lost cause.
I bet Mrs. Barry seems okay.
You reckon? She's a bloody dropkick.
The whole thing is one big joke.
Why'd you come then? I mean, you
Listen, Dipstick. I'm here because I wanted to write. Nobody made me. Doing it for laughs, got it?
Sure.
Hey, that's mine.
Back off.
Give it back. Make me.
Bloody hell.
Bitch! Ouch! No!
Can't we get out of here?
Give it to me or I'll mush your skull. No way! Just let go!
What on earth? Get up, both of you! All right, explain yourselves.
Sorry, Mrs. Barry, but I don't like people nicking my stuff.
What? Shut up, James. What stuff?
Me jumper. Me mum gave it to me.
Liar. I told you to be quiet. Now give Lennox her jumper.
But it's not hers. I believe her, you stupid old bag.
Give it to her.
Time.
Right. Now you've got exactly 2 minutes. You've wasted enough time already. Hurry up.
It'll look better on me anyway.
Oh, get you.
Nobody gets me. Nobody.
And you can wear your own clothes in a way that remand prisoners do. Apart from that, you'll be subject to all the rules which govern the prison. And for those of you who haven't been listening, I suggest you study the rule book very carefully. Ignorance is no excuse.
You that moron? Moran, you got no excuse.
That's enough. I'm warning you right now. No one here intends to make any allowances for you. You'll be punished if necessary.
Oh, yeah? What do? Stick us in the pound?
If I have to.
Good. I can use a sleep.
Anyone else feel that way?
We're not scared, if that's what you mean.
Good. But let's get one thing straight. You will cooperate. If you don't, you'll be sent straight back to court for sentencing. Is that clear?
Sure.
Right, Mrs. Barry, you can take them to their work areas.
Come with me, girls.
Not you, Lennox. Put it back.
What are you talking about?
Don't try it on me, Lennox.
What?
Now.
Okay?
Now get to work.
And in the bedroom itself?
There were 3 sets of prints. The victims, the defendants, and the housekeepers.
Mrs. Goddard.
That's correct.
And the murder weapon, Exhibit A?
1 set of prints. The defendants.
Now, Inspector, could you tell us what other conclusions led to the charging of Miss Hartley?
Objection, Your Honour. Counsel is, by his own words, calling for conclusions.
Sustained. Rephrase the question, Mr. Harding.
Yes, Your Honour. Would you summarize the evidence against the defendant, Inspector?
Certainly. Well, the defendant was found with the body. Her prints were on the murder weapon. There was blood, the victim's blood type, all over her hands. She was disorientated but made no attempt to deny killing her grandmother at the time of the arrest. And despite exhaustive investigation and examination, there was no sign of forced entry or any sign of any other persons having entered the house.
Plus, of course, the fact that the defendant is the sole heir to the victim's estate.
That's correct.
Thank you. No further questions?
Mr. Gardner?
Inspector Grace, I shan't keep you long. Now, you say the defendant made no attempt to declare her innocence.
That's correct.
And yet we have statements made later that day where the defendant claims that she couldn't have killed her grandmother.
Those statements were made some 6 hours after the arrest. I was talking about initially.
Ah, initially. Isn't it a fact that the girl was in shock and couldn't say anything coherent, let alone defend herself?
She was shaken. I didn't think she was in shock.
But you're not a doctor.
I've seen enough cases over the years to recognise shock when I see it.
I repeat, you're not a doctor.
No.
Did you call a doctor?
I didn't think it was necessary.
You didn't think? All right. Let's move on. The murder weapon.
Yes?
1 set of prints. That didn't surprise you?
No. Obviously, the old lady was used to Miss Hartley doing everything for her. That would include, of course, turning the lamp on and off.
So the prints are in a pattern suggesting just that she turned the light on and off.
No, sir. The prints were in a pattern suggesting a fist clenched around the lamp, suggesting it was being wielded like a club.
And this is Willie.
You've got a bad smell under your nose or something.
Okay, let's get to work.
What do you want us to do?
Cindy, you can load the dryers, and Nikki, help me with the folding.
Take away clothes from the washer, you load the dryer, and then you turn it on, all right?
So this is all the clean stuff, eh?
That's right. Now pull your finger out and get folding.
Good, because I don't like sitting on dirty floors.
You're a rude little madam.
Listen, punk. I've had enough of you already. On your feet.
Make me. Come on, try it.
Look, kid, you're way out of your league. If you don't want me to rearrange your face, on your foul!
Don't you try that again, Lennox!
You little bitch!
Then get wise. I'm here because I did fancy 6 bloody months in a youth training centre. As for working, shove it up your nose.
You horrible child. Where'd you learn such language?
No violence, eh? Well, Reno forgot to tell her.
Here, how's your hand?
Well, she didn't break the skin. Just as well she could have rabies.
I just saw 2 of them kids up in the print shop.
Ah, Lexi. And Cindy?
Hi.
And the one on the floor is, Jaws. Sorry, Nikki.
What are you doing down there? Minding my own business. Why don't you try it? Ooh.